That's fucking annoying, isn't it? So this is like, I guess, my atheist coming out video. I know that that's terrible to say because I feel like it kind of takes away from the whole idea of coming out for homosexuality, bisexuality, so on and so forth. But I've always wanted to talk about it. I just never thought of how or who I would talk to. It's been many, many years now. Really the only person that I have to talk about this is my brother. So I guess a little bit about me. Similar story to most kids in the United States. Parents made me go to church throughout high school. It was, what was it? It was a Methodist church, a United Methodist church. It was whatever, don't fall asleep. There was no real involvement. It was one of those things where your parents made you do it, so you just did it. After that, my parents were a little bit more stronger believers than I was. But when it came time to graduate high school and go to college, there was a push. And of course, the push was to find a good college, obviously, to get a good job. I know that I wanted to do biology, go pre-med because mom was a nurse and she wanted me to be the doctor, so on and so forth. A couple different choices. I didn't want to. I actually wanted to go and study zoology. I love animals. I've always loved animals. So I looked at a few colleges. Now, I'm from outside of Boston. My mom's family's from Vermont. So we were looking, I was looking in New York. I was looking in Massachusetts. But my stepfather, who was a great man, and still is a great man, he found this college called Geneva College. It's north of Pittsburgh. It's just a small private Presbyterian school. So I applied. I got into Oswego State. I would have gone for the zoology program with Oswego State. I got into another college, and I got into Geneva. And I was encouraged to go to Geneva. And I remember filling out the form, and I had to write, as part of the college application process, describe your personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And I remember the time, I've always been a good BSer. But at the time, because I was just a haphazard Christian, went to church on Sundays because I had to, I had no personal relationship with Jesus. But I made one up, and it was a darn good one. So essay done, questionnaire filled out, application sent in, I got into Geneva. I was strongly encouraged by my mother and my stepfather, both, to go to Geneva because a smaller school meant I would have better one-on-ones with my professors instead of the Oswego State. In New York, the class sizes would have been over 100, whereas at Geneva, I was going to have maybe 20 people in my in my major classes. So I ended up going to Geneva. I was at Geneva where I was actually introduced to a different form of Christianity. It wasn't the New England church on Sundays and Christmas and holidays, but nobody ever talked about it outside of church, to this private institution with Christians from all over the country, all over the world, coming and sharing their stories and sharing their love for religion, their love for God and for Jesus and for all of these things. And I was honestly curious. So I went to obviously for part of the graduation requirements was that you had to go to chapel every Tuesday. It was a requirement. If you wanted to graduate, you had to attend a certain amount of hours of chapel. It was every Tuesday. But I started going to the worship services that the students put on themselves. And then I went to the praise music sessions, and eventually I fell in love with Christianity, and I was just wrapped in it, caught up in the emotion of it, completely motivated to learn more about God, to learn more about the Bible, learn more about Jesus and what he had done. I have very distinct memories, and we can cover this another time, but very distinct memories of this feeling inside of what my friends at school told me was the Holy Spirit moving through me. I ended up leading Bible studies. It was called The Table, and it was at the cafeteria every Wednesday evening. After people were done eating, they could come over, or they could eat with us. And I picked a passage in the Bible. We would just go over the passage. And I call it The Table because I thought it was clever. I thought, hey, listen, this is not, I'm the leader, you're the followers. This is nothing like that. This is just the, hey, what do you have to bring to the table? I picked a passage and I asked, what does this mean to you guys? How does this hit you guys? What does this mean? What does this mean? I was pushing to reinforce what I wanted to learn with other people that were in the same boat as me. I wanted somebody else's opinion because I didn't want to just look at this and say, make a biased opinion on what I've read or what I've seen or what I felt without getting other input. And this went on again for years. I ended up going 5 years for college because I was awesome. Just kidding. I went biology pre-med first. That didn't work out because I couldn't do sick people. After bio pre-med, I ended up going bio with a minor in business. Accounting was just a wreck. So I ended up switching in my third year, my junior year, I ended up switching for a double major in biology and education. I finished in 5 years with a double major degree in biology education. I wanted to teach high school science, different kind of zoo, I guess you could say. Graduated college, left college. I started teaching, wasn't ready for it. I was young, I was dumb, I didn't want to settle down. I was 21 years old. And I was just, didn't know what I wanted to do, so I joined the military. I had an idea that I wanted to learn Chinese. It was from a book that I'd read in college. I wanted to learn Chinese. My stepfather, former military himself, said, hey, check out the military, see what they offer. I knew that they had a language school. I'd heard about it. It's very well known. It's in California. It's called the Defense Language Institute. So I decided that, well, if I'm going to join the Army, that's what I want to do. I want to learn a language. So I enrolled, whatever, joined the military, learned Chinese. And really, after leaving college and meeting people from other cultures from all around the world that were not just Christian, and not being constantly surrounded by this environment of Christianity, from the professors to my colleagues to my classmates to the lunch lady, everybody, it was just everywhere. When I left that bubble and I started to meet people from all around the world, especially in the military, I started to read more. I was hungry for more knowledge. So I kept learning and I kept reading and I kept investigating. And eventually, because I'm getting long on time and I know you guys don't want to listen to all this. I still don't really even know why I'm doing this, but through time and reading and information and exposure, I started to feel that the feeling of that passion, that fire, this Holy Spirit moving through my body dwindling. I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought I had fallen out of grace. I thought I had done something wrong. I thought that I had just followed the sinner's path. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that something, it was this tremendous amount of guilt that I felt for having not been as faithful as I was before. And I remember in the military going to the chapel services that they had, and it was different. It wasn't the same. Yeah, I read more, I was exposed to more, I learned more, and I fell from grace. And it's not easy. Leaving Christianity is not easy. It's uncomfortable. It's scary. It's hard. So this is my atheist coming out video. This has been many years now. But I'm not Christian, nor Muslim, nor Hindu, nor Zoroastrian. I am just Chris. That's it. And I'm pretty good without God. So yeah, that's my intro video, I guess. Like, follow, subscribe, and tell your friends. I do want this channel to be about love. I do want this channel to be about support. I do want this channel to be about healthy discussion. So let's do this. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I want to meet you guys. I want to know who you are. I want to know your story. So here we go. This is now our journey, not just mine. All right, that's it.